Joining me is Robert Bruce and Nicholas Walsh of the band Slik Toxik. Guys, welcome to Atlantic Canada.
Thank you very much, Gary.
I guess this is your first time out east, is it not?
It definitely is. Actually, we were scheduled to come out east about 2 years ago, but there were some complications, and we're finally here on the East Coast.
Great. Now, how's the tour going so far? I guess last night you played Moncton?
Yeah, we played Moncton. It was good for Sunday night, and first time us being out here. We did Halifax. It was really good. It was stuffed, totally sold out. And we're having fun so far. Nice people, and we always have fun touring. So.
Actually, one thing about the East Coast so far is we're from Toronto, and the weather was just getting really nice in Toronto. We heard that out in the East Coast, oh, we're getting really good weather, and then we come out and there was a blizzard the last couple of nights. Oh. And then today in Fredericton, it's the nicest it's been. Yeah. So it's probably a good sign.
Good omen.
Yeah.
I guess change is a big word now on this tour. You got a new sound, new bass player, record label. The question, new album Relevant, which the band has gone for a much heavier sound. Now, why the change in direction?
Well, I just think that it's a natural evolution thing. The thing is, we've got a new record label and everything as well. When we were with the major record label, there was some stuff going on with the A&R department and us, which was they were trying to get us to change into something we weren't. And we wanted like a natural progression, a natural evolution to take place. And the only way that can happen is that, leave us locked away in the rehearsal spot for a year or whatever and just write what comes natural. And they wanted us to be something we weren't, and that's obviously why we're not with them anymore. We didn't want to sort of conform, I guess you could say. And I don't know, the sound is just, we're human beings, we soak in what's around us. And, we've had a lot of different influences over the last couple of years. You got to remember, with your debut album, nobody's ever heard of you. So you got your whole life to write that album, basically. Like, some of the songs off Doin the Nasty were written like 87, 86. So, this one took like 17 months, 12 months, well, 17 months.
It's not like we said, okay, let's do this second album, let's make it heavier, because that's the sound we're going for. It just kind of happened naturally. We just wrote it that way. A lot of people say, oh, how come you went heavier? But it's not that we went heavier, it just happened. That's the way it just came out, right?
I think when people question it and say, like, how come or whatever, that's just totally the wrong way to approach it, because I can't answer that question. It's just what happened.
With your new label, Strawberry Records, do you feel more in control now and less sort of like puppets that you did with EMI?
Completely. We're in total control of the situation. It was kind of initially the same way we did get our EMI deal, was that we went into the Phase 1 studios with Paul Gross, producer Paul Gross, and did our own record. That's what we did with EMI in the first place, and then, they signed a finished product, and that's what we did this time, except for the thing that differs this deal from the last one is that it's a licensing deal, which we hold all the rights to. The problem with I think, signing with a major label nowadays is they'll sign you exclusively worldwide. But then meanwhile, if the counterpart of the label isn't interested in you, like, for example, in Germany, they say, okay, you're signed to a worldwide deal. And then the German president of the EMI in Germany says, no, I don't think I'm going to put it out. Well,
you're not signed to a worldwide deal.
Yeah,
then,
you don't have a choice, and you can't shop your product elsewhere to another company in Germany. You're locked in, and the thing with doing a licensing deal is we own whatever territories we pick up. So it's the best for us, artistic-wise and business-wise.
So if another big label approached you, how would you deal with that?
Well, it's not that we're shining down big labels or anything. It's just that we've been through it once, and I think, without going through it, we wouldn't have learned a lot, and we learned a lot about the business.
That's something we'd consider, like, if a major label approached us, we'd have to, look at it at the time.
Things would be a lot different. That's all I could say.
Now, also guns, your old bass player Pat Howarth, and you probably don't want to talk about the Juno and the limo and all that stuff.
That really has nothing to do with it.
No, that's been hashed to death. And now come to we have Adam Headland, I guess.
Yeah. Adam actually, he's an East Coaster too. He's from Happy Valley, Goose Bay.
How'd you get hooked up with Adam?
Adam was a friend of our drummer, a longtime friend of our drummer Neil Busby. They played together years ago in the 80s, and they worked together on some other project. And Adam just seemed to be the ideal choice at the time because we had all the material written for the album, and we were basically just entering the studio to do the record.
And I could learn it really quick and professional, and he seemed to be the right choice for that because he learned all the material really quick and did a really good job recording it.
Not just the learning, but because Neil and Adam had played together so much, to have a tight rhythm section like that that's a chemistry all on its own. And if it's natural, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You have a new video for the song, I guess it's 20-something.
Yeah.
Has that much music been given that much airplay?
Just a little bit of Power 30 play. As you know, and as everybody knows, that nowadays the face of music, especially in this country and in America, has changed. And the big thing, or the big trendy thing anyway, is alternative pop or alternative pop rock or whatever you want to call it. And I think hard rock and heavy metal has reverted back to what it was when we were first getting into this in like, the early 80s when we were listening to bands and stuff. The bands we liked weren't getting played on the radio, or their videos weren't getting played every day in regular rotation anyway. So as a result, we're underground and we're cool again. So
Right on. And do you guys enjoy making videos?
Well, talk to Rob about that.
Well, you have to do them. There's enjoyable moments. They're long and boring usually to do. It's a lot of hurry up, stand around. Okay, hurry up, and then you just stand there for hours usually.
It's like okay, guys, we're ready to shoot. Yeah. So you get in your position.
Hold on, the camera's not
working. And you stand there for 10 minutes and go, I thought they were ready. And then all of a sudden, okay, guys, take a break. We'll get back to you in an hour or so. It's like, okay.
I've seen your video a hell of a time on MTV actually when I was down in the States a while back. Now, is there any chance of a U.S. interest in this album now?
Yeah, we have some interest. We're currently shopping for the same sort of deal in the U.S. I mean, obviously, if a major U.S. label approached us, it would be something to totally look at. But in the meantime, we're just basically shopping for the same sort of thing and hoping to secure some sort of distribution down there, by the summertime, because we've toured down in the States many a time. And we've got a great following down there.
You toured down there with Yngwie Malmsteen, was it not?
Yes, we did. Yngwie Malmsteen and Fast Pussycat we did 2 weeks with, and it was really enjoyable. The fans, we do have a following down there, like Nick says, and they just eat it up. They love the rock and roll down there, man. They're crazy.
Like contrary to what MTV dictates to a lot of the public down there. It dictates mostly to the mid-teenagers and stuff, and obviously we know in the States it's 21 to get into a club and drink, and 18 if you're not drinking to get in. So most of those people I don't think follow that MTV thing, and they're still die-hard rock and rollers, They're not into what's happening now type of thing.
Is there any advice now you could give to like a local band that's trying to make it?
Yeah, just soak in what you can, like learn what you can, listen to what people have to say, and listen carefully, and think about what people say. Don't just jump the gun, because it's really easy, because the corporation, the corporate machine in the music industry, all they like to do is, feed on the naive musician, the artist and stuff. As you must know, the artist is usually the last to get paid. And maybe you'll never get paid.
In other words, it's very business oriented. They really don't care about the music one way or another.
They don't. It's a whole political thing. Yeah, it's a whole political business thing. It has nothing to do with well, this guy's good. I mean, they'll like your music at first, but then they'll get it and they'll throw you against the wall and go, is it sticking? It's falling down the wall like a creepy crawler, So
they'll just bleed you for whatever they can get at you.
Well, it's all a money thing once you get signed and all that. Depends how much money they want to put into you, and it ends up just being just financial and a big bloody burden, to be honest with you.
Let me just say one more thing about the whole thing, the music industry for up-and-coming bands. It isn't what you think it is. When we started out, we had the big dreams of once you get signed, you get all sorts of equipment and all sorts of money, and you take limos everywhere and all that crap. It's not true. You get an artist advance, which, you've worked your ass off for years and years, and you get an artist advance, and all you got to do is end up paying people back that you borrowed money from for your whole life. So
don't come out ahead.
No, you really don't. And especially in Canada with major labels, it's very tough to make money in this country because we're such a big country with a limited population. I mean, if you think about it, New York alone has the same population almost as the whole of Canada. So you know, I don't want to steer people away from this country, but to sell to make some money in this country, you got to sell 500,000 records or 250,000 records, which is not impossible, but very difficult, and it would take you a hell of a long time unless you're Bryan Adams or something.
So I guess
Did you say hell of a long time, Nick?
I guess the U.S. market then is the thing to go for. But why is it so difficult for Canadian bands to break in the States?
Well, hold on. That's the thing. In the States, like the American market, yeah, it's great because there's a lot of people and a lot more people can buy your records, but it costs so much money to tour down there that it's sort of like a double-edged sword. That's why in Canada, I think personally, it's better to be an independent artist, and in the States, it's better to be on a major label because they soak like crap loads of money into you down there, right? And here they don't have the funds.
Yeah, because I know much music now is being broadcast in the States, so maybe that'll help out a little bit.
I have no idea.
What's the future hold for the band now?
Touring, more touring. Hopefully after this Atlantic tour, we're going out west for, I guess, close to 3 weeks, and come back, take a bit of a break, and see what's up, see what's happening.
We've currently got some European interest, and we're in the middle of sort of not negotiating, but just dealing with a few other companies, and hoping to get over there. Slik Toxik's never been across the big pond before, and we do have a lot of fans over there. It's weird because in our fan base, there's a lot of Europeans who bought our record on import, our first album, and with this new album, we've been getting a lot of good reviews over in Europe because we shipped out a lot of imports. So.
Because I have the album, it is a killer album, and best of luck, guys, with the tour and the careers.
Thanks a lot. Take care.